This man has been pulled from the surf. He is not breathing.
Does anyone over there know this gentleman?
Analyzing.
We got notified up in the tower by a member of the public that there might have been someone in trouble in the flags.
A Bondi Rescue crew member confirms the sighting. Beardy and Mouse race from the tower, carrying the medikit and defibrillator.
Can I get an ambulance here ASAP where they've just dragged someone out of the water?
We need the ambulance, we need all the boys on scene to get this one, because this is a drowning.
Water froths from his lungs and obstructs his airway.
I'm just going to give him a bit of a pump here. We need to establish an airway, and we do have a Goodell airway.
Yeah, let's roll in.
Our Goodell holds the patient's tongue down so they don't choke on their tongue, and it opens a clear airway for us to continue EAR on. He started draining, and I knew we had an airway.
Get that defib on him.
Lifeguards attach the defibrillator. If the man's heart stops beating, he will be given an electric shock to restart his heart. If a shock is administered, anyone touching the patient will be electrocuted as well.
Stop CPR. Stop now.
Gonna analyze
Do
what?
not touch the patient.
My guys, just hands off.
Analyzing.
Hands off.
I have to
Do
leave.
not touch the patient. No shock advised.
Okay, we're gonna roll it back again.
Okay, just wait.
To help drain water from the man's lungs, lifeguards place him in the recovery position.
Mate, if you can hear us, squeeze your right hand, buddy.
Can you hear us?
Buddy, squeeze that right hand.
No, he's got
45
nothing. Got nothing.
seconds.
Just keep draining that water out of him. Can you feel the pulse?
You keep going, I'm just concentrating.
Faintly. I've got
Yeah,
it.
okay, well then, okay, he's got a pulse.
I want that on. I want that on.
The man was found floating between the flags, the safest part of the beach.
Yeah, not far out.
Yeah, just by himself though, yeah?
Yeah.
Beardy notices a telling injury.
He was blood on his head. Guys, I'm a bit worried. I want to put this neck collar on him,
Yeah,
mate.
definitely. Let's try and straighten up his spine.
Lifeguards suspect he's possibly suffered a spinal injury. New recruit Mario is sent to the tower to recover the spinal cord. It's the first resuscitation he's been involved in.
The adrenaline, I drive as fast as I could. I start moving people in front of me.
What do you need, brother?
Yeah, possible.
Does anyone over there know this gentleman?
Analyzing. No shock advised. It is safe.
Lifeguards must keep the man alive until paramedics take over.
Bondi Central to the boys.
I just run back to the Ambo. The Ambo is still at Ramwick.
Okay, copy that. He's breathing, but he's unconscious at the moment. So, yeah, we give you a post day.
For 1
Thank you.
minute.
Pulse 67,
Yeah.
71, 83, it's rising, which is good.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe it's worth rolling him, putting the neck collar on, coming back over?
5
On
seconds.
3, Mouse, you can drop that for a second. 1, 2, 3, roll.
Good work, good work, good work.
We took him out of the recovery position because there were signs of life. He was responsive to us, he was squeezing our hands, and we were happy with the clear airway that we had with the Goodell.
Mate, can you open your eyes for us? You can open your eyes, okay? That's good. I know it's hard, mate. You need to try and just take a big, deep breath. Calm down for us.
If the man has a spinal injury, moving him is risky, but lifeguards must prioritise his airway.
You need to spit out,
Vomit,
mate.
mate, need to vomit, vomit.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Spit it out, mate. Spit it out.
Analyzing.
Guys, can you move out of the way so the ambulance can get down here, please? Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Out of the way.
It was a big relief to have the paramedics turn up and take over.
All right, have we got any straps for this floor? Yep.
Yeah, they're on that.
We'll clip them in right now.
What happened to the man is a mystery. The first person to spot him in the water was a nearby swimmer.
We was playing with my son on the waves, and we saw him facing down, and we saw that he was holding the breath. And we looking for a little while, and he didn't move. And after that, making like convulsions, and I just touched him, and he didn't respond, and I just turned around. He tried to breathe, but I think he got a lot of water on the lungs, and that's why he couldn't breathe. And after we put him on the side, he started breathing, but with difficulty.
Okay, everybody on 3, 1, 2, 3, lift.
Yep. So mate, you've got to really try and keep your head straight.
Well, heaps of things can cause him to be unconscious in the water. It could be a medical illness. It could have been ran into someone, knocked unconscious. He left the beach alert, conscious, probably with a bit of water in him, but I think that he was a very lucky man that situation went the way it did.
From what we know, there was no friends or family around, so at the moment he's just a mystery man.
The fact that no one knows who he is, and up to this point we really don't know what happened, is it's a bit of a sad story. It just would be nice to, just work something out, because at the moment I feel a bit like lost with it all,
After extensive medical treatment, the man's condition stabilised. The mystery surrounding his identity is also solved, and James was reunited with concerned relatives and loved ones. Luke and Terry race down. Maxie backs up with a defibrillator. Lifeguards have no idea what's happened.
What's going on? We're already on the shoreline. Oh, they've already got him on the shore.
How do we miss that?
A 13-year-old girl nearly drowned at South Bondi. Lifeguards arrive after she's been dragged from a rip.
Who's with this girl?
I'm on her mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I couldn't get out to her. They were told to stay here.
Maxie monitors her pulse. The girl is in shock and may have taken in water.
Young Lydia here has gone for a swim. She's down here with 9 other kids, is that right? And she's got caught in this southern rip here. And like that, she's not almost drowned.
My daughter was swimming with her cousins, all teenagers. Told to stay here, don't listen. She got washed out further.
Bring him up to speed. I'd like to get an ambulance to check her out.
Mate, just stand by. The chick's stable. We've got her on oxygen. She's a bit tired and a bit of shock, but I think we'll get an ambulance just to get her checked out. She's 13 years old, girl.
Luckily, former lifeguard George was surfing nearby.
Yeah, no, because as we're now, I thought it was a resus for sure. The way she walked,
Because I said she was really panicking. Yeah. I said, "You're all right, darling. Got you. You're okay." And
how far out we were?
But when I picked her up,
just in a little rip on there behind here, right?
End rock.
Lydia and her family come from Sydney's west. Living 50 kilometres from the coast, they rarely come to the beach.
You've got 10 kids here.
Yeah, because I've got their nieces and that too. They're all older.
All right, yeah. This end of the beach it's a surfing end, and it's also littered with rips. We found out the hard way why we want people to swim in the flags. Okay.
Sure, right? Thanks, mate.
Thank you so much.
You saved a life, mate. Very lucky. Yeah, cheers, mate. All the best, though. Thank you.
It's our job. It's not a good feeling. I'm not heaps stoked about it.
That was pretty close to drowning as I'd like to get. And if it wasn't for the surfer, I'd hate to think how that might have ended up. So, yeah, a big thank you to the board riders at Bondi for that assist.
After a night of observation, Lydia was discharged from hospital.
Being an afternoon and an incoming tide, there's not a lot of room for us in the Can-Am to move on the water's edge. There's people everywhere. We need his eyes on that corner because our vision was interrupted by all the people on the beach.
A knock at the door, and Ryan is momentarily distracted.
There's 2 police officers conducting an investigation, so yeah, that's a minute that anything could happen in the water. When I sat back down, started looking at the water again, there was a guy and he wasn't in a good place.
Ryan has identified a man struggling near the icebergs pool.
On Essential to South Cannon. Yeah, mate, there's one bloke in the corner, not looking too well.
Copy, we'll go down and move him, mate.
You can kind of tell from the tone of the voice from the person who's in the tower how quickly you should get there. And Ryan's called us pretty casually.
Ryan is watching this man
He just made his feet, so yeah, no rush.
But he hasn't noticed another swimmer who's in serious trouble. Fortunately, Jake and Beardy think this is the man that Ryan is talking about.
I caught a glimpse of the guy out there. He was drowning.
When you're in the Can-Am and you know you've got to get someone, all you want to do is just gas it, put your foot down and get there, but you can't.
It was high tide and the whole beach was packed. My first thought was, you know, how are we going to get to this bloke in time?
Jake and Beardy are 100 metres from the man who is panicking.
It's just so frustrating, you know, where you want to go, you know, how you got to get there, but so many roadblocks. You just can't get there quick enough.
Should be swimming in this corner. Someone will drown.
I could hear him yelling from the shoreline. You know you're going to get there, but it's just a matter of when you get there, is he going to be on the surface or is he going to be on the bottom?
To surface, hear the man screams.
Surfer looked over and just paddled as hard as he could.
It's all timing down here, and we're just lucky that there were people around.
22-year-old Biplap is an IT student from Nepal.
Maybe another 10 or 20 seconds and he would have been pretty close to going under.
I was getting so much panic that I can't think about the thing. I'm just calling them to help. That's much.
We all were feeling so helpless because none of us could go there and save him.
Now I feel so lucky. Like I feel like I get new life.
It's not uncommon for lifeguards to get assistance from surfers.
I think I kind of saw him. I turned around as he was going under, yeah, so just try to help.
Beardy gives Ryan recognition for spotting the rescue, unaware that Ryan had his eyes on another swimmer.
I tried to play it down and keep everyone calm and that, but yeah, I did stuff up. Beardy's, you know, he's always understanding in that, but he will give you the, oh, that's not good enough, which, you know, makes you work harder. But yeah, now I've got to own up for it.
A cardinal rule amongst lifeguards is never leave the tower unattended. But sometimes rules must be broken. 2 tourists are caught in a rip, but there are no lifeguards nearby. Troy breaks protocol and leaves the tower unattended. Troy is beaten by Beardy, who was heading to the change rooms when he spotted the man.
Yeah, Beardy's gone out.
Hear him screaming help?
The man is swept into the impact zone. It's Beardy's job to get him out of there.
As I get to him, pretty big set comes and we got pumped.
Oh, the board!
And I was just lucky that somehow the board didn't rip out of my hands.
We could hear him screaming help from up there.
In saying that, we did get him on the board pretty quickly. And we got a pretty good wave in. Unfortunately, he was in a bit of a bad way when we got to the beach. He was exhausted. He was literally fighting for his life in the water.
You good?
He was sick. He was a little bit vomity.
Water on the lungs can cause secondary drowning. He may be out of the water, but the man is not out of danger.
You all right there? Wait!
big worry for us is secondary drowning. Oxygen therapy in his case, yeah, it's pretty important we get that on pretty quickly.
Did you swallow any water or are you just exhausted? I don't know. You don't know?
1, 2, 3, go.
He had nothing left. He couldn't even lift his own body weight. And you know when someone's in that condition that it was a close call.
Yeah. Just try to breathe through this. So you did swallow a bit of water? Yeah, okay. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get an ambulance to come down.
But what they do is they'll take you to hospital and they get something, they stick it down your throat and they'll suck all the water out for you.
Murat's friend witnessed just how quickly things happened.
We were having really good time there, and as soon as, yeah, that was pretty deep then, so yeah, I got so scared. Yeah.
Help? Yeah, give him a hand on the back of the bike.
Ambulance, thank you.
Even in the tower, he was in a bad way.
You feel sick in the tummy at all? No. No? It's like I feel like somebody hit me. Dizzy? Extremely. Headache? Okay, take that in. Nice deep breaths. Okay. Oh, hello. Drag out of the water. You swallow your water? Yes, but I think it was less than a cup. Slow your breathing down, mate, all right?
Murat is off to hospital for a full assessment.
I kind of knew that he had swallowed water. I saw the waves breaking over his head and he's very lucky.
Often, when the surf gets big and blown out by wind, there's no one in the water for lifeguards to worry about. Then again, there's always someone who wants to test their luck in the big stuff.
He's swimming.
Yeah, we had a really dangerous beach setup. Conditions were terrible and we had really strong winds and the visibility was impossible.
Groups of people on the walking track at Bondi have noticed two men caught in huge surf against the rocks.
A couple of guys jumped in right in the boot, which is behind the icebergs there, and they were in difficulty. And as we all looked, we couldn't see anything.
Oh, like a surfer?
Then we just noticed a person run down the rocks and just try to throw a board to them. And that's when we knew that, you know, all hell was going to break loose.
The men are in a small bay beyond the beach.
Two guys look like they're off the rocks over behind the boot.
It's too far to paddle and too close to rocks for a rescue board.
Bondi Lifeguards, Chris speaking, hello.
Kerbox must unload the 400-kilogram jet ski just as a wave washes underneath. But the ski is dropped at the wrong moment.
You get these really big surges that come, and then when it backs off, you could get bogged with the jet ski.
Bondi police call the tower for an ETA on the jet ski.
Yeah, we're trying to get the ski out now. I've got all the phones ringing. Do you have eyes on them? Do you have eyes on them currently? I've had about 1 million phone calls for these guys at the back. We had eyes on them before, and they've just gone. They've gone out the back, and they're in a bit of trouble. Bondi Lifeguards, Chris speaking. Yeah, sorry, I hate to be rude. We're super under the pump. We've got two guys out the very back of the right there. Just trying to sort it out now with the jet ski. Go ahead.
Yeah, boys, just had a call off the Rangers.
Yeah, we're trying to get the ski. We're getting the ski to go get them right now.
Finally, Kerbox gets the surge that he needs.
It's all good, mate. We've got Kerbox halfway there now. I've had the ambos, the cops, everyone calling.
Chris learns one swimmer has managed to make it up the rocks to safety, though the same can't be said of his friend.
You got eyes on him out, Chris?
We've got the one guy's coming off the rocks.
And there's another guy out there. I'm just trying to locate him now.
It's so hard to see there. There's white water everywhere.
In pounding waves and gale force winds, Kerbox's search is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Centre of the box, there's one swimmer left, mate. Apparently he's with some surfers.
Copy, mate.
My visibility was zero. I couldn't see where I was going. I was mainly relying on all the people who were up on the cliff face to try to get some kind of location. As I was going into the boot, I took my eye off on the surf for a couple of seconds, which was really stupid. And this set just loomed up, and it almost could have trapped me between the rocks and this wave. So I had to turn around and hightail it out of there. And then Everyone was screaming at me on the rocks, and I'd gone past him.
This is heavy.
2 paramedics were there, and they were going back there, and I spun back around, and there he was. He had his hands up, screaming out for help.
Yeah, King's got the last shimmer, boys.
I know the boys are local kids, and it is pretty irresponsible. I don't think they really looked at what the surf was like before they decided to go in off the rocks there. They later told me that they do it all the time, and I have no doubt they probably do. But there's always that one chance that you can come unstuck, and it could have been this day.
Yeah, Boxy's just bringing one of them in now. So we're sorting it out. We've got all the swimmers. One's going with Amber, we've got the other. We're all sweet. All right? I knew they would get one of the boys to come out, and yeah, co-box, lifesaver.
The woman is over 100 metres from shore. Unable to get a visual on her, Lockie's hope is that he will somehow find her out the back, still afloat.
She was out past the break. The wind was so strong, it makes it really hard with the big boards. It like sails, it just catches it. Yeah, she wasn't in a good spot. When I was out there, she was hanging on to someone else's board. She's fully gassed when I get to her. She's actually quite white. You know, that's when your panic sets in.
Exhausted from the rough conditions, the woman can barely hold on.
And she's so weak, she slips off.
Where the did she just go?
That's just the worst thing ever. Where's she gone? Like, I've lost her here.
The woman makes a final attempt to stay alive.
We got her back to the beach. It was past 7 o'clock. It was time for us to go home. I had to get everyone out of the water, so I paddled back out. Hey, everyone out! Get out! Out of the water! By the time I came back in, I couldn't actually see her. I think one of the boys said she walked off to her friends. Generally, that means they're all right.
After 15 minutes on dry land, Martina shows no signs of improvement. Water on the lungs can cause secondary drowning, even hours after the actual event.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm one of the lifeguards.
She'd been running, surfing, swimming and walking all day and then downed 4 beers and went and jumped in the ocean right on the southerly change. It was kind of a cocktail for a small disaster. There was nothing of her, so if she continued to stay in this weather, she was going to turn hyperthermic.
Hyperthermia arises when a person loses heat faster than their body can produce it.
It's incredibly dangerous and it can be fatal if it's left untreated.
Police arrive, with paramedics close behind.
They thought maybe it was like the rescue retrieval or something going on.
Martina, you awake? Water? I'm not sure.
An intensive care paramedic quickly establishes what the problem is. Normal body temperature is around 37 degrees.
I'm too hot. No, it's what happens when inside gets a little bit cold. You think you're hot, okay?
Martina is moved off the cold floor.
Come in. Get up. Open eyes. Bang it in. I'm going to sit over. That's much better. All right?
Paramedics recommend Martina should go to hospital, but when she refuses, they settle on a final checkup in the ambulance.
That should wake you up a little bit, hopefully.
It's really important whenever people swim to know their ability, and if you're not a good swimmer, just make sure there's someone there, like a lifeguard or a lifesaver to look after you.
It's 7 p.m. and we've just packed up. We've got all the bikes away, no boards on the beach, and then we hear... So we just grab the rhino, grab a board off the ground, because at this stage everything's packed away, and yeah, we just motor off down the beach. just 2, so I grabbed the other board. We get out there and they're being propped up by a couple of surfers. So the patients are Craig and Kay, and Craig actually sells big issue magazines on the street, and Kay is deaf. We're trying to find out whether she swallowed any water, because that can be a big drama with someone who's had a near drowning.
Three mouthfuls. 3 mouthfuls.
And doing so when someone's deaf, it makes it even harder.
Yeah. Under, yeah, it's held you up. Very strong rip there.
Definitely grateful. She, I think she might even give Jake a kiss. She was stoked.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I love Dada.
Yeah, this place down here, it's a you know, you get the opportunity to meet all sorts of walks of people, and yeah, it was good. It was good interacting with those two.
Veteran lifeguard Chapo is joined by first-year lifeguard Sam.
We just jumped straight in the buggy and went.
They were panicking, trying to get in, unable to get in.
That's just like fighting.
We're in for sure. Go for the right-hand side. I'll go to left-hand side, okay? Where's the board?
With only one board on the buggy, Chapo must drop Sam off.
You go first, I'll go get a board.
Then go for another board.
Oh, wait, hold.
But then the women seem to be making progress.
They're kind of floating.
I'm in the tower with binoculars with a zoom-in view of them just kind of cruising and floating in this rip.
Calm, girls. Big swimming.
Next second, panic. And, you know, panic can go to all sorts of bad places.
She might not be all right, eh? Definitely go for a paddle.
A surfer sees the trouble unfolding.
A surfer came along and floated one of the girls, so I thought, oh, thank goodness, she's out of trouble. Sam can get the other girl now.
Yeah, that one girl's horrific.
And Sam paddled past the girl in dire straits and went for the girl that was already being floated by the surfer.
What are you doing? Yeah, Chapo, can you go?
But Chapo is still 100 metres up the beach.
The other girl was literally drowning.
Even though she was being held up by a surfer, she was unresponsive.
All right, if we're going to get our legs, on the floor, we're going to hold down really good.
She's taken on a lot of water, and yeah, I wasn't getting much response at all.
100 metres up the beach, Chapo has collected a second rescue board.
Sam's grabbed one girl, but quickly go.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I've got a good visual on her. I know she's struggling. Just hold up.
I was 100% confident that I made the right choice.
I'll get there.
Especially when you've got someone as capable as Chapo backing you up.
Copy. Mate.
The woman must hang on for just a few seconds more.
Hold on, sweetie. Hold on.
Friends from Western Sydney, Claudia and Alicia, are now with lifeguards. But their condition is poor.
Okay, we're going to have to break this boat.
Lots of waves coming. She was not really moving at all. I just wanted to kind of keep her close and just keep telling her it's going to be okay. She was in and out of consciousness and she was pretty limp.
Hey, Sam. Is she all right?
Alicia is too weak to walk to the buggy for assessment.
She had taken in a lot of water, so sort of the next 5 to 10 minutes were just pretty critical.
Okay, sweetie. What we're going to do is we're going to give you some oxygen.
Put the oxygen mask on her and just try and keep her calm.
Yeah,
good girl.
That's it. Just take your time.
This woman's day could have been very different.
Seem like you've come around all right.
I don't think an ambulance is necessary.
No, I don't think so either.
It was worry because I knew that I couldn't keep it up for much longer. I was a very strong swimmer. I was definitely worried for her. I was like, oh my God, help her. I was just like help. My head hurts a lot, but happy to be safe on solid ground.
In the tower, the situation becomes clearer to Jules.
That was, really well done. The fact that Sam went for the girl that was being floated by the surfer in the tower, that confused me, but Sam was right there and then, and he did the right thing.
All good. You just went from announcement to get them out of the water, and before we knew it, it was a potential resus. So it was pretty scary, it's pretty full on. It just shows how quickly it can all change.
To be honest, I didn't actually see the guy. Mouse just told me to get ready to go.
Yeah, go Ryan, he's struggling, mate, he's struggling.
As soon as I heard Mouse in the megaphone, my heart went into my mouth. I was like, oh.
Oh, mate, he's proper. Bouncing off the bottom, the man uses his hand to signal his location.
The waves were just hitting him and just smashing him around and just, I guess, knocking the wind out of him.
Soon, the water will be too deep for the man to break the surface with his hand.
Fully needs to go, mate. Oh, he's bouncing off the bottom.
I was paddling as fast as I could to that hand, but it felt like time was standing still.
Oh, mate, he's gone.
Life and death is now a matter of microseconds.
The next thing that went through my mind was remember where he is, because he's going to be on the bottom when you get to him.
He wasn't coming back up, he was gone. And yeah, Ryan just got there just in time.
Ryan has just a matter of seconds to secure a hold on the exhausted man.
He looks up, he's got a 6-foot wave about to break right in front of him. What do you do? That's when I ripped my gear off because I just thought this wave was going to separate him. Oh, hold him, hold him, hold him.
I just saw the wave and white-knuckled holding on was as hard as I could hold on.
Mate, that was the heaviest thing. I thought that guy was going to die in front of our eyes then.
Rio is a 22-year-old law student from Japan. Without Ryan, he would have definitely drowned.
So scary. I thought I'm dying now, so I asked help. I don't know what happened to me. Sorry.
Sometimes the most dangerous parts of the beach can appear deceptively calm.
Yeah, just attention everyone in this corner here, please come out of the water.
For one unsuspecting swimmer, that warning has come too late.
As I was making the announcement, there was one head that had just drifted off the sandbank, and then all of a sudden, he was gone.
The swimmer is in a rip just 20 metres from shore.
The closer I get to this patient, the worse it's looking. His eyes just looked so vacant that it was almost like he was unconscious. It just looks horrendous. I get to the patient who's just being held up just by a clubby, and the only thing going through my mind is I've got to get him to shore as fast as possible.
Wait, buddy. Hey, buddy, sit up. Wait. Hey, open your eyes.
The shock from the situation has left them borderline unconscious and unresponsive. I've just got to shake him and sort of hit him on the back just to wake him up and get him to come to.
Line up on the board there. Don't worry. No, you're right.
It was kind of like waking up out of a really deep sleep, except that deep sleep was almost a forever sleep.
The teenage boy is out of immediate danger, but there could be a lethal complication.
Secondary drowning is a massive possibility for him. Any amount of water that's on the lungs is quite severe. You know, there's a high chance of death if he's not monitored properly.
The 16-year-old is from Western Sydney. Despite being a gifted athlete, he is no match for the powerful rib. The first priority is to administer oxygen.
I'm just a bit worried about his oxygen, like where his oxygen saturation level, so the oxygen in his blood should normally be sitting around 90s, mid to high 90s. But it's lower. Well, last time it showed up, it was 48, so it's really, really low. But the thing is, I'm worried about water on his lungs and in his chest. If he has water on his lungs and you take him home and he falls asleep, you know, well, he could drown in his sleep.
Infection could be another complication. Bacterial infection in the lungs can lead to pneumonia.
I had to be very firm and extremely honest with the uncle about the severity of the situation that his nephew was just in, purely because within a second it could turn. I didn't want to let him out of my sight. I had to keep watching him because these minutes after the rescue, these are key to the patient's survival. Just going to wrap this around you, bud, so you stay nice and warm.
After 15 minutes, the teenager's oxygen saturation returns to normal.
How are you starting to feel?
Really good.
Starting to feel really good? Well, let's take this off and let's just get you standing up. See how you're travelling, eh?
Can I take this off?
Yeah, you can take that off now, bud. After that whole ordeal, I was stoked to see him stand up and be a kid again.
I nearly drowned. The water was getting too high and over my head, so like I kept on swallowing water as well and going down instead of up.
Sometimes, even the fittest and healthiest can't beat the power of a rib.
Thank you for saving my life.
No worries. No worries. Did well, man. Did well. It was just really lucky that that clubby was out there, because a couple seconds more and he would have been dead.
The radio's going in my ear, get there, flying down the beach as fast as I can. You've got to dodge people, you've got to get your uniform off, you've got to keep an eye on two people drowning. I was trying to keep one eye on each of these guys. To have two and me, it's generally it doesn't work out for one of them. Keep going to the right. And I just got the biggest relief ever, seeing in my corner of my eye, Matt D on the other board. I don't know where he came from. I've got to take this guy. And I just turned and I paddled as hard as I could to where I thought I saw the other guy, and I couldn't see him. I saw him 1 minute and I didn't see him the next. Stay there, stay there.
Oh my gosh, that was scary.
Stay there. Grabbed him by the hair, pulled him on. I had to look over my shoulder to make sure Matt had the other guy. And that was just a closure for me that we got them both. Is that it? Just...
Yeah, radio was just a 2. It was a close one.
It was really confronting for me after having to speak to the boys about having someone drown in front of them, and you know, we worked so hard to prevent that, and to have it almost happen, it's like it hits you pretty hard. You right there? Yeah. Come on, out of the water.
That was insane. It was like the other week.
I can't believe he didn't go under.
Yeah, good work, man. From here, looked unreal.
far out. It's a very, very unique feeling, and it hasn't happened to me for a long time. I've been here 13 years, and that doesn't happen a lot. Had to grab you by your hair. Yeah. If you feel sick, go to the doctor. Yeah. Okay? Or if you start to cough, anything like that. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have a good day. Then I went back and checked on him, and he's from Nepal. Has no water experience, which is fair enough from, you know, a landlocked country. And yeah, he got welcomed to Bondi in the most craziest fashion ever, almost dying.
While treating a broken arm in the skate bowl, Harrison spots 2 girls drowning in Backpackers Rip.
And that's when I look up, and straight away, straight in front of me down in Backpackers, I just see these 2 girls, and they were not good at all.
The lifeguard buggy is parked back up the beach, so Harrison must make the 100-metre sprint on foot.
I could see there was a board directly in front of the girls in trouble.
Got 2 heads tonight,
These thoughts in your head saying, right, go Harrison, just run, run. Then you're also thinking, geez, are they gonna make it? And also there's another side going, oh, I hope the boys are backing me up.
Chris calls in the cavalry.
Go ahead, Jeff. Backpackers, you're gonna have to go in.
Harrison hits the water first, unaware how long until backup will arrive.
Got full just tunnel vision on these 2 girls.
2 drowning girls, 1 lifeguard. Harrison makes a spur-of-the-moment decision. Rescuing a drowning person without equipment is extremely dangerous. Harrison risks being held underwater. But his only thought right now is getting to the girl in time.
Go, he's under.
Just keep past the board so someone else the other to hold him up.
I've got to the young lady and I'm keeping her afloat, trying to reassure her that everything's okay, that I'm a lifeguard, I'm here to help you. And that's when Ryan pedalled out on the rescue board, and I just happily gave her to Ryan.
The first girl Harrison rescued struggles not to tip the board.
That was lucky. That was as close as you wanted to get ever.
Safe on the beach, the girls are shaken but alive.
If you feel sick tonight, okay, make sure you go and see a doctor. All right, just don't swim, just swim up between the flags, okay? Yeah, so I saw the girl at the back was worse off, so I just grabbed the first girl on my board and just swam, just held her up until Ryan arrived. Yeah.
It's just good that, you know, Hartsy and Singlets both been lifeguarding for so long. Just know to keep an eye on the beach from where they are.